Welcome to the Fantasy Beer League, where you get half-decent advice from half-decent guys. I'm your host, Sean Joyce. With me, as always, is Skechers fan Justin Giel and our resident fantasy football expert, Matthew Senni. Justin, how was your Week 5?
Not great.
Well, how come?
I came in last.
Oh, that would make it a poor week.
Yeah, only took until Tuesday, but...
Oh, Tuesday Night Football. That's what they always say. It all comes down to Tuesday night.
Yeah.
It's actually the first Tuesday game we've had in 10 years, so... Congrats. You lost in rare fashion.
I'll take it.
Yeah. And Senni, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, man.
You feel all right? You sound a little hoarse, a little weird.
Yeah, I think I might have just got something caught in my throat earlier, but I think I should handle it.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you toughing it out. Well, here we go, Justin. We'll draw your punishment for you. You want to come over and reach in, or I can bring it to you?
Yeah, just bring it to me.
What you got?
I got eat a raw onion.
Raw onion?
Raw onion. Do I got to eat it like an apple?
Yeah, you got to bite into. You can take the skin off, but you have to bite into it.
Like, okay.
I'd say like at least half. What do we think, Viz? You got to eat the whole thing, or just like?
I'll eat the whole thing up until like the root.
Okay.
The part that was in the dirt.
That sounds like
Does
a
that
fair
work?
plan. That does.
All right, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into some football, and we'll try this one again. This is the Broncos at the Patriots. Broncos are coming into this game fired up that they had to waste their bye week preparing for a game that wasn't even played. My expectations for them have not changed. I think Belichick will work to slow down Melvin Gordon 3 and force Denver to pass the ball to beat them.
Yeah.
So I like Tim Patrick as a deep league play if you need somebody to fill in for bye weeks or injuries. That's pretty much it for me, though. Noah Fant, still questionable, not likely to play.
Mm-hmm.
As for the Patriots, they stand to benefit the most from the extra week off, as it gives Cam some extra time to recover from COVID. If he's back in time to play, this offense gets a major boost. How do you view the Patriots' weapons if Cam can play versus if he's not able to go, Justin?
I think if he can play, like to your point, the weapons definitely get a boost. With Cam, you got to worry about the legs and watching him.
Yep.
And then he's got an arm on him as well. Without Cam, they seem a bit flat.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only person I would probably trust will be Edelman.
See, I wouldn't even trust Edelman, I don't think.
Okay.
I think the difference is if Cam plays, you can't start any of the running backs. If Cam doesn't play, the running backs have more upside.
They have the pass.
Yeah.
Did he only miss one game?
I
think it was just the
one.
Yeah.
The one against
And they
Kansas
look good.
City. Yeah, the running game was good. Damian Harris stepped into a big role. So when Cam's there, he offers so much with his legs, to your point, that it limits the upside of all their running backs. But again, I mean, I would only start Edelman if Cam is healthy or if I didn't have anybody else to play. But I wouldn't feel good about the passing game without Cam Newton. I think New England is going to win. I picked them again.
Yeah, I'm going New England. I think it's not going to be close.
I like New England in this one as well. Similar to what you guys said, I think if Cam Newton can be there, I think he's going to get things done for the Patriots.
Some astute observations from you, Senni. You've been doing your research for sure. Let's move on to the Texans and the Titans. Tighten up. Week after firing the dumbest man in football, the Texans looked more like the team we thought they would be. Deshaun Watson looked great. Will Fuller V scored a touchdown, and after Justin and I advised cutting him, Brandon Cooks went off for 161 yards and a touchdown on 8 catches. Were we wrong on Brandon Cooks, Justin, or was this just a fluke?
I think it's just a fluke. I don't think we were wrong. I don't like being wrong.
I don't either.
But he does this shit every single year.
Agreed.
He'll have that one game where he goes off for upwards of 150 yards, gets a touchdown, then you don't hear from him after that because he gets hurt.
Exactly. Yeah, he's very inconsistent, been inconsistent his entire career. Even if he does it again, I need to see it more than just a couple weeks a season to advise starting him. Titans came out after their massive outbreak and absolutely smoked the Bills. Derrick Henry and Jonnu Smith continue to be starters, and it was nice to see A.J. Brown return to action and look like the top 20 wide receiver that we all want him to be and expect him to be. I have the Titans winning this one. Tighten up.
Yeah, I'm going Titans.
Senni?
After seeing what the Titans did down there to the Bills, I think they're going to roll with that momentum.
Yeah, for sure. That Tuesday night game, big upswing for the Titans. Let's move on to your team. The Steelers host the Browns this week, and I don't know if you knew this, but the Browns are 4-1. Can't wrap my mind around that. Kareem Hunt outtouched Dearness Johnson 23-9 in last week's game, which I expect to be the norm going forward as long as Hunt stays healthy. We saw more of a split when Hunt was banged up with a groin injury. I think they're going to use him as a workhorse more often than not going forward. The Browns are one of the run-heaviest teams in the league, so Hunt has RB1 upside every week that Chubb is out. And despite how dominant Pittsburgh is against the run, I cannot advise not playing Kareem Hunt.
Yeah,
bit of a double negative there, but I think you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I got you.
Start Kareem Hunt. OBJ had 5 catches for 58 yards, which I think is more normal for him than the explosion we saw against Dallas. But do you agree with that, Justin, or do you expect him to blow up again?
I think this is more consistent on what he's going to be doing. He's kind of accepted that role that they're leaning towards a more run-heavy team.
Yep.
And those banger-bust games are going to happen.
Agreed. I think his ceiling is still as high as we saw against Dallas.
Yeah.
However, his floor is extremely low. So these types of games I think you have to come to expect. 5 for 58 I think is solid, and he's still worth starting.
Yeah.
But you're going to get a bit of that boom-bust production out of him. The Steelers improved to 4-0 against the Eagles, and we saw a breakout performance from Chase Claypool. Deontay Johnson left the game early with a back injury, and Juju Smith-Schuster had only 4 catches for 28 yards. Claypool totaled 7 catches for 110 yards and 3 touchdowns. It added a 4th touchdown on a 2-yard rush play. Is he the number 1 waiver claim this week, Justin? And what should we expect from him going forward?
I think he's going to be the number 1 waiver claim. A lot of people will just eat up the 40-some points that he put up. Moving forward, I think he kind of benefited from Deontay Johnson being out. Obviously, he took all of those targets that could have gone his way, but he's still a talented wide receiver. I think he's worth the pickup if you can get him.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't expect 4 touchdowns every single week.
Well, obviously not.
Yeah.
I think as long as Deontay Johnson is out, he is a startable player.
Yeah.
Juju is not the number 1 wide receiver on this team. And he has not, I say that because he's not led the team in targets in any game this season, and his receptions have been largely underneath completions, short throws underneath. It's been Deontay Johnson. He's led the team in targets. He's their number 1 guy. When he goes out, Juju doesn't take that role. Juju stays with that slot role, that underneath play, the secondary option, if you will, in the receivers. But Claypool can stretch the field. He's proven that. They've taken deep shots. Yep, they've taken deep shots to him even in games where Deontay Johnson was healthy. So as long as Johnson is out, Claypool is a starter for me. Eric Ebron did not score a touchdown in this game, but he did lead the team in fumbles. I'm taking the Browns in an upset. They've been playing well.
I'm going to take the Steelers, but I think this is going to be a close game. It's probably going to be the game of the week.
Well, I would like it to be the game of the week. Senni, what do you think? I know you're a big Steelers guy.
I think you guys know what I'm going to say here. The Steelers are going to take this way in an absolute blowout.
Blowout game.
Yeah, you're going to see at least 4 more from Chase Claypool.
Oh, Senni.
We're locking up Kareem Hunt. You guys know what it is.
Senni. Senni's riding the hot hand, ladies and gentlemen. This is insane. I've never seen him this confident. Next up, we're going to talk Ravens and Eagles, but really quick, Senni, for a chance to ice one of us. Which Spanish explorer is given credit for scouting the Grand Canyon in Arizona?
You got me stuck, man.
It was Coronado. Little history lesson for you there. The Ravens' defense was dominant on my bench this past weekend, and this week they will probably suck because I'm starting them against Philly, and I rank them as my number 1 defense this week. Lamar Jackson has been largely average so far this season, which is shocking to me. He offers top 10-ish numbers every week, but if you drafted him, you were expecting top 2-ish numbers. Are you nervous about his outlook going forward, Justin? He had only 3 rushing yards against the Bengals.
A little bit, but I think just the offense in general has seemed kind of flat. Like he's not getting it done on the ground. He's not getting it done through the air. They're still winning games, but it's nothing like we saw in the past. I mean, being a Steelers fan, I'm hoping this continues, but I think they're gonna I think they're gonna find their groove in a couple weeks.
Well, being a fantasy manager who has Lamar Jackson in this league, I hope they turn it around. But it is very concerning. I mean, they're a talented team top to bottom.
Oh yeah.
So even in games the offense isn't clicking, they get big leads and they don't need to force the ball. But his floor was always super high because of the rushing, and that just hasn't been what we need it to be. So I am concerned. I mean, you can't bench him. You can't do much with him, but it's very upsetting if you drafted Lamar Jackson. And, I mean, I got him in the 4th round. I thought that was a steal, but, it's just another storyline this season that's disappointing for fantasy managers. The only other player on the Ravens I'd start, Hollywood Brown and Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
And even still, I expect them to be hit or miss options every week. The Ravens are a good real-life team, but so far their fantasy value diminishes pretty much every game they play. Their backfield, you cannot play any of them. All useless.
Right.
As for the Eagles, Travis Fulgham appears to have emerged as the number one wide receiver on this team after securing 10 of 13 targets.
Sounds like a divorce lawyer.
Travis Fulgham. I don't know about that one. I don't know if I'm with you. Travis Fulgham. Fulgham. Yeah, maybe a little bit.
You got to put some Yiddish behind it.
Yeah, that's what it's missing. I'm with you now. 10 of 13 targets for 152 yards and a touchdown. Definitely add him. Start him if you're hurting a wide receiver, but understand this could all come crashing down at any moment. It would not shock me if he had 2 catches for 10 yards after that explosion last week. But he was the number one guy 2 weeks in a row, so definitely worth a claim, definitely worth a starting role. Zach Ertz had another quiet game with only 1 catch for 6 yards. Justin, can you even keep starting him at this point?
If you don't have a better option, I think you really have to.
Yeah.
I mean, the tight end position overall is pretty deep this year, so you could get like a rental player for a little while. Like I've said before, I think Ertz is kind of hurting with Goddard being out. I think he plays better with Goddard in the lineup.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a better option, you have no choice, but I would start looking around.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's unfortunate, but as long as, his team is banged up, he's their go-to guy. He's getting double covered on every play.
Yeah.
So, again, like you said, not many better options, so it's not likely that you're able to bench him, but I wouldn't feel good about it if I had shares of Zach Ertz at this moment.
No, and you know that week that you go to bench him, he's going to have 10 catches,
oh, absolutely.
80 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's coming. You know it's coming. But I think the Ravens win big.
Yeah, I'm going with the Ravens, too.
I'm going to be with you guys on this one, definitely taking the Ravens.
All right. Next up, the football team at the New York Football Giants. Alex Smith took over as the Washington quarterback after Kyle Allen was forced out of the game with a head injury. It was awesome to see Alex Smith back in action, picking up right where he left off with a completion for like 0 yards.
Yep.
But this is not good news for the Washington offense. I'd be nervous about starting Antonio Gibson or Terry McLaurin. This week you have to, I think, because of the matchup, but I'm tempering expectations. Alex Smith is not a fantasy viable quarterback. No. Amazing that he came back from that injury. I wish him nothing but success.
Yeah, I was uneasy watching him play.
I felt very uncomfortable.
Very, very uncomfortable.
Especially because Aaron Donald didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He jumped on him like a backpack as soon as he took his first snap.
It was
yeah,
I had to look
it was
away.
rough.
Yeah.
and his poor wife and family had to watch that too. I bet they were so scared.
Bunch of fucking kids in there.
Well, I mean, I don't know why you're yelling at the kids.
Well, there's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything wrong.
It's not like it's Phillip Rivers' family. That's like an entire row. They can't be allowed in the stadium. There's too many of them.
That's true.
They can only go to Miami. I'm still not over this loss, Justin, against Dallas, but the Giants did look better on Sunday.
A lot of points, but their defense didn't look bad.
I mean,
it didn't look as bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's some plays were bad, and Daniel Jones, I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, yeah.
Would you trust starting Darius Slayton this week after watching him record 129 yards on 8 catches against Dallas?
I would give him a flex go, like not in the flex position. I probably wouldn't put him in a 1 or 2, but
yeah,
I feel comfortable putting him in as a flex.
I think so too. Definitely the number 1 receiver on this team. And Washington isn't great, so
not a good team.
I think this is another week you can fire him up.
Yeah.
I think the Giants get their first win on Sunday.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Big Blue.
Do you want to make it 3 for 3, Senni?
Absolutely. We're going with the New York Football Giants.
All right. I love to hear it. Next up, the Falcons take on the Vikings. The Falcons have cleaned house after starting 0-5, and this offense has looked abysmal for the past 3 weeks. Calvin Ridley is the only receiver I'd be starting this week, even if Julio plays. I said last week that I won't be starting Julio until I see him start and finish a game, and I stand by that statement. Todd Gurley, too, had another solid day on Sunday with 150 yards and a touchdown on 18 total touches. What do you make of this performance, and what should fantasy managers do with TG2?
So he's a touchdown machine this year, but this is the first time he's eclipsed 100 yards. The touchdowns, it plays to your benefit.
Yeah.
But in my personal opinion, if I had him, I'd try to look to shop him around.
I agree.
See, he's probably the highest that he can get.
Agreed.
And then trade him while he's hot and see what you can get for him.
Agreed. I think that the efficiency will crash at some point.
Yeah.
And the biggest knock on Todd Gurley is that he's injury prone.
Yeah.
So you've been lucky so far he hasn't been injured. I would definitely look to cash in on that now before something bad happens. God forbid. I'm hoping that he stays healthy for the whole season. But just playing what's most likely to happen, I think that the value of Todd Gurley is the highest it's going to be for the season. The Vikings looked great in the first half against Seattle before imploding in the second half. Justin Jefferson had a quiet game, but I expect him to bounce back against the kindergartners in Atlanta's secondary. His teammate Adam Thielen should continue to shred in this one as well, and I have him ranked inside my top 5 at the position this week. Dalvin Cook left early in the second half with a groin injury. An MRI Monday is calling it an abductor strain. He's considered day-to-day. I've heard that they're likely going to bench him because the bye week is next week, so they'll give him 2 weeks to rest. How do you value his backup, Alexander Mattison, in the event that Cook misses this game?
I think he's arguably the best handcuff in the league. He's played well. He's been explosive when he comes in.
Yep.
I think he's been great.
Yeah, he is. Vince was doing a little dance. Vince listened to me in the preseason when I said you need to handcuff Alexander Mattison to Dalvin Cook. Vince, you reached into your pants. I thought you were going to whip it out or something. you're getting a little too frisky over there.
He's behind the camera.
Yeah, he's well, I mean, I can see him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Madison should be on your roster if you drafted Cook, and if you didn't, you're probably not going to get him because your team's probably not first on waiver orders. But I mean, if he's available in your league, you got to pick him up. I agree with Justin. I think he's a top 10 play every week that he's the main guy. Part of me feels like the Falcons are going to win this game because of the coaching change, but I'm going to go with Minnesota. I think they look better past couple weeks, so.
They have looked better. I'm going to go with the Falcons because of the coaching change.
Yeah, it's a true thing. I mean,
I mean, they did it for the
Texans
did it with.
I mean, it makes a
Romeo
difference. Crennel.
72 years old.
Is he?
Yeah.
He looks good for 72.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
He looks like the dad on Family Matters.
Yeah.
Reginald Vel Johnson.
Yeah. I think he died.
Oh, R.I.P.
Yeah.
If he didn't die, I'm fining you for that.
Okay, yeah.
Senni, who you got in this game? Falcons or Vikings?
I'm going to roll Skull with this one. We're
Skull.
going with the Vikings.
That was not synced up. Want to try again?
Yeah. There we go.
All right.
Well, we didn't say Skull, but we can edit that in.
Oh. Well, let's try it one last time. Third time's a charm. Skull.
There we go.
Senni, you didn't do it, but it's okay. Now for this game's game of the week. The Lions take on the Jags. Detroit is coming off the bye, and they're hoping to get their season on track. Obviously, Kenny Golladay is a starter, but is there anyone else who should be in lineups this week, Justin?
I don't really think so. Maybe Hawkinson, but apart from that, I really don't see anybody on this offense of value.
Yeah, I agree with Hawkinson. It's a shallow position. Hawkinson's good. I think you have to start him unless you somehow have a better option.
Yeah.
But the running backs are used so disparagingly. It's hard to pick who's going to go off, who's going to do what. It's another bad situation for fantasy purposes. I'd say stay away. As for the Jags, I think Minshew is a good bye week fill-in against a bad Lions defense.
Mm-hmm.
James Robinson, DJ Chark, and even Laviska Shenault are all fine plays for me as well. I think the Lions win in a shootout.
I got to go Jags.
Your boys.
Yeah.
Think who you got?
I like the Lions for this one.
Lions.
To be honest with you.
Yeah,
I think it's the first time he didn't take the Jags.
Yeah, Senni's a big Jags fan too, but I think he's feeling a little sick today.
I got to get him a Jags jersey for his anniversary.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good anniversary gift. Okay, Senni. Before we get to the Bengals and Colts, this is a chance for you to ice one of us. What is the lowest grossing film to win the Oscar for Best Picture? This accounts for inflation.
I like the Adam Sandler classic Grown Ups for this one.
I don't think that won Best Picture. The that's a good guess though, buddy. The answer was The Hurt Locker. It made only $17 million domestically, but beat out Avatar for Best Picture, which was one of the highest grossing films of all time. The Bengals got absolutely destroyed by the Ravens on Sunday and face another tough defense in the Colts. Joe Mixon's volume is enough to keep him in a starting slot all season. Even in a poor game from an efficiency standpoint, he still had 30 touches against the Ravens. So you can account for the volume. Mm-hmm. That's what we're chasing in fantasy. And then he'll punch some touchdowns in from time to time. He may not be that good in real life, but for fantasy, you got to keep starting him. We've told you before that it's time to drop A.J. Green, but if you didn't listen then, maybe you will now after Sunday's zero-catch performance. He just doesn't look like himself. He does not belong on any fantasy roster. For the Colts, T.Y. Hilton showed a little bit of life on Sunday with 6 catches for 69 nice yards on a team-high 10 targets. Are you encouraged by this performance, Justin?
It's encouraging, but I'm still kind of treading lightly just because he's been so inconsistent this year. Yeah. I still don't think I would trust him.
Well, he has been. I think he's been consistent. He's just been consistently bad. He's dropped touchdowns.
He's not trending in the right direction.
No, he's not. Yeah. Well, this week, I mean, I don't know. I'm with you 100%. Yeah. I think the T.Y. is still risky to play. I wouldn't advise starting him unless you absolutely had to. But hopefully he gets it going a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially for you, Senni. I know you really need him.
Yeah, he's got to make his grandma happy,
too. He does. I mean, Thanksgiving's coming up.
It is.
Our audience doesn't think he's getting a plate, so I'm going to take the Colts to win this game.
Yeah, I'm going Colts.
Senni?
We're going to make that 3 for 3.
3 for 3, okay. Next up, Bears at the Panthers. Allen Robinson, too, is a rock star and should always be in your lineup. But what are your thoughts on David Montgomery, Justin? A week after I said he was garbage, he totaled 18.9 fantasy points.
I still think he's not that great.
Yep.
I don't even think he's an RB2.
Agreed. He's barely a flex play. He had 17 touches last week for 59 total yards. The touchdown saved you, and the rare game where he had 6 catches saved you. I mean, that's not going to happen very often.
No.
I mean, the volume for now is there. Le'Veon Bell's a new free agent. I think the Bears are the most suitable landing spot for him.
Yeah, Le'Veon goes there. He doesn't have a job.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, for now, the Bears keep playing him. So if you have to start him, I guess you can. But I wouldn't feel great about it. For the Panthers, DJ Moore got back into the spotlight with a long touchdown on Sunday. But Robbie Anderson is still the guy you want. And in fact, there really aren't many wide receivers in the NFL that I'd rather have than him. He's been great so far this season. Far exceeded expectations. Mike Davis continued to be great in McCaffrey's absence. And with Reggie Bonifant being placed on IR, I like the appeal of Davis's volume, even in a tough matchup against the Bears. I'm going to take the Panthers to win.
Yeah, I'm going to go Panthers.
Yeah, we're on the Panthers train.
3 for 3.
Bridgewater's gonna wrap it up for him.
Yeah. Okay, boys. Let's get into some thirsty day.
Thirsty day?
Thirsty. I mean, there's no game. Let's
what
talk.
Do we call it happy hour?
Let's talk. All right, some thirsty happy hour talk. So there's no Thursday game this week. I'm going to tell you what I'm drinking and what I'll be watching instead of football on Thursday. This is the Eau de Gouze.
I think it's Oud Goose.
Okay. It's the white vermouth foeders variant, I guess you'd call it.
I think it's pronounced Fooder.
Okay. It's a collab between Mikkeller and Brouwerij Boon, breweries found in Denmark and Belgium, respectively.
You got it right to say it's Brewery Boon. You got it right the second time.
Well, I said the breweries found in Denmark and Belgium.
Well, that's the correct word.
Okay.
Brewery
Boon.
There you go.
It's good, drink local. Denmark and Belgium again.
Couldn't be further from here.
It's a blend of Lambics aged in white vermouth barrels. It's got a nice light tartness, notes of lemon sorbet. Yeah.
Lambic.
Okay, fuck you.
Pronounce them all.
Lambic Brewery Oud Goose. It's a blend of lambics aged in white vermouth barrels. Nice light tartness, notes of lemon sorbet. It's got a bit of a funky aftertaste to it, but I like it. Almost tastes like Sweet Tarts or Skittles. Pretty solid. And instead of watching football on Thursday, I think I will watch Astro Vitality videos. Check them out on YouTube if you haven't already. Maybe Vince will give me a plug. I never do anything that isn't self-interested. But if I catch up on all of that, maybe I'll catch up on The Masked Singer too.
Nice.
How about you, Justin? What are you drinking? What are you watching?
I am drinking I'm drinking Foggier Window from Monkish Brewing in Torrance, California, which is right outside of LA. Double dry hop, double IPA. This shit's fantastic. Smells wonderful. I get a little bit of pineapple on it. A little bit
pineapple.
Pineapple. There you go. Now you're correcting me. So Thursday, what am I doing Thursday? I'm getting wings after work, so that'll be fun.
Okay.
And then what am I watching instead of football? Probably finishing up Haunting of Bly Manor.
What is that?
The Haunting of Bly Manor.
Haven't heard of it.
It's on Netflix.
Okay, that didn't help me.
Have you watched The Haunting of Hill House?
Yes.
It's after that.
Oh, they made another season? It's a season or like a movie?
Yeah, I think it's a season. It's like an anthology, so it's not related to the first one.
Okay, cool. I'll check that out as well.
It's good.
And Senni, what are you drinking today, and what are you going to be watching Thursday night?
So I got this rainbow sherbet by Prairie Artisan Ales. It's a nice, sweet but tart sour. It's pretty damn good. And on Thursday, I'm looking forward to teaching math and taking a bunch of creatine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like usual.
Yeah.
The normal Thursday.
Normal Thursday.
I thought he said Korean teens.
No,
creatine.
Yeah, I got it. All right, Senni. Well, I mean, you're looking pretty jacked over there, so
yeah.
Good for you, my man. Let's move on with some more football talk. Our first late game today is the Jets at the Dolphins. Jamison Crowder is elite.
Yeah.
He has over 100 yards in all 3 games he's played this season, and he is the lone bright spot on an awful Jets team that just cut Le'Veon Bell. Start him every week. The Dolphins absolutely destroyed the 49ers on Sunday, and while I don't expect that to be the new norm, I do expect another strong fantasy output against the Jets. Myles Gaskin and Devontae Parker fall inside my top 20 at their respective positions, and I think you can start Preston Williams in your flex despite the recent lack of production. Gesicki is hit or miss. Still a tight end with a ton of upside in a shallow position. Pretty much all you can ask for. Fins up, I say the Dolphins win.
Oh, yeah, Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Fins in this one, too.
Okay, good to hear, Senni. Next up, we got Tampa Bay hosting the Packers. Senni, for one more chance to ice one of us today, what down is it?
It's first down.
For which team?
What am I supposed to say to that?
It was first down for the Bears, man. Tampa Bay, 4 fingers.
Yeah.
4th down. He got it wrong, just like you, Senni.
His shorts are too tight. He couldn't think of the answer.
Yeah, what is up with the shorts,
what's
man?
What's going on there, buddy?
They're nice and breathable. Honestly, you guys might want to try something like this out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could. Nobody would see mine, though. I mean, you're kind of showing the world.
Yeah.
And you got no shirt on. Arms are looking skinny today.
I figured, I've been working out a lot recently. Everyone needed to see this.
Yeah, true. You make points. The Packers are good at football, and you should keep starting them.
Yep.
Analysis. I'm going against Aaron Jones this week, so you can be sure he's going to score 4 touchdowns. But let's talk about Robert Tonyan, Justin.
All right.
He had 3 touchdowns the last time we saw him play, but what should we expect from him this week?
I really don't know what to expect. I mean, he's a touchdown machine this year. I don't expect that to carry on through the entire year. I'm going to say he doesn't get a touchdown this week.
Doesn't get a touchdown.
He's going to get some yards, but I don't think he's going to score a touchdown. Doesn't find the red zone or the end zone.
So far, I feel like Rodgers has used Tonyan more than he's used any tight end he's previously had. So I do think that he's startable, given the shallowness of the position. But Devontae Adams should be back.
Yeah.
If not this week, then very soon. That's going to eat into Tonyan's target share. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't score a touchdown, but I think unless you have a better option, he's still a startable guy.
Yeah.
He's a guy I would say I would start over Zach Ertz. If he was available, I might pick him up and start him over Zach Ertz. But he's a fringe top 10 tight end. He's not like a must-start every week. As for the Bucs, Ronald Jones, too, was the only running back with a carry against the Bears last Thursday. He turned his 17 carries into 106 yards. Do you think we can finally trust him in our lineups, Justin?
He's getting the yards, but I want touchdowns out of him.
Yeah.
I think until maybe even one more week, I want to see some touchdowns out of him. Obviously the yards are there, so that's great. But not all you want.
Yeah, and it's concerning to me because we've seen some committee from this team. We've seen some up and down weeks for different running backs. But to your point, the touchdowns aren't there, and that's because Tom Brady is stat padding. Yeah. You've seen those short-ass touchdowns to Mike Evans. He's got, 4 touchdowns from within the 2-yard line this season?
The one game was 2 catches, 2 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and the first game of the season against the Saints was 1 catch, 2 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
So I just think Brady's not going to give those goal line carries very often if he can avoid it just to cash in, boost his numbers for his career.
He's trying to beat Breeze in the
and I don't blame him. I would do the same shit.
Yeah.
But that does cap the upside of guys like Ronald Jones, Uncle Lenny. Those are the only 2.
That's it.
I can't think of anybody else that would get goal line work. Mike Evans is the only other player I think I'd start. He has a touchdown in every game this season, and as long as Tom can remember the down and distance, I think he makes it 6 straight. But the Packers win.
I'm going to go Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go. All right, let's get into some Sunday night football. We've been waiting all day for Sunday night. Senni, what have you been waiting all day for?
This week, I've been waiting all day to talk about creatine.
Oh, okay.
Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but I actually wrote a paper about creatine in college. Sean was actually in that class, but he doesn't remember because he drinks too much.
True.
Now, if you're thinking about starting creatine, I'd say go for it. I'm really pro creatine, and I'm big, mad, and pretty, so you should trust me on this. Basically, it stores water weight in your muscles, so you don't have to drink. So you have to drink plenty of water to see the real effects. But I definitely say it's worth it. Okay. It doesn't contain any harmful chemicals or illegal garbage, so it truly is a nutritional supplement. Most weightlifters take it in the winter, and they use it as a fat burner in the warmer months, so it doesn't have any long-term negative effects. But if you aren't seeing the results when you stop it, there's no effects to your body. If you don't want to do it, then definitely don't, but I know Sean is considering it, and I helped him make a decision based on my previous research and experience.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, Senni. I mean, I did start taking it after you advised me to. I've definitely felt stronger generally, so I think that's pretty solid advice. Thank you for your dissertation. And I did forget we had that class together, but I'm happy that you wrote that paper because it was informative, and I'm pretty sure you got a high grade on it. So
yeah,
good job. Good job by you, buddy. We'll drink to that. There's no creatine in these beers, but
which there damn should be, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, you're right about that, Senni. Next week we're going to drop creatine, heaping scoops in all of our beers. So the Rams play the 49ers Sunday Night Football. The Rams have looked great so far this season, and the 49ers largely have not. We've established that we aren't particularly interested in the Rams running backs, but let's talk tight ends. Tyler Higbee had another dud on Sunday, while we saw his teammate Gerald Everett catch 4 balls for 90 yards. I know the position is extremely shallow, but do you think it's time to move on from Tyler Higbee, Justin?
I think it is. I mean, he had that one great week, but apart from that, he's just been dropping duds, to your point. I think it would be time to move on.
I think so, too. Gerald Everett was hurt most of the year last year when he was exploding, and we just haven't seen that volume aside from playing against the shitty Eagles when he scored 3 touchdowns. Yeah. So, yeah, I think Tyler Higbee is droppable. There's got to be somebody. I mean, you can get that kind of production from anybody.
Yeah.
Raheem Mostert is a must-start each week, as is Kittle. But these receivers have been pretty up and down so far, Justin. Do you think they can get it going this week? Will another week to help heal Jimmy G boost the offense as a whole?
I'd like to see them get it going. I think if any week, it'd probably be this one, just because I feel like it's got the potential to be a shootout with the high-powered Rams offense.
Yeah.
But the Rams defense is kind of – it's a good defense.
It is.
So that might pose some issues, but this might be a tough week, but I think they got to get it going at some point.
I'm nervous about it. Any 49ers quarterback hasn't looked great unless they're playing at MetLife Stadium. They're 2-0 at MetLife Stadium, and they haven't won a game anywhere else.
Yeah.
So it's not looking good for the 49ers. They're not looking like a Super Bowl team they were last year. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But right now, I'd say Raheem Mostert and George Kittle are the only guys I'd feel comfortable starting.
Yeah.
I think the Rams win this game.
Yeah, I'm going to go Rams.
Taking the Rams, too.
Okay, 3 for the Rams. Let's get to our rare Monday night doubleheader as the Chiefs take on the Bills. The Chiefs are good and should be in your lineup. But let's talk CEH, Justin. He hasn't scored since week 1. Other players on his team have scored red zone touchdowns. He's not. We've seen a lot of jet sweeps, a lot of those push passes to the fast wide receivers. Eric Fisher, their fullback, Sherman scored. Last week, CEH had only 10 carries for 40 yards and 3 catches for 40 yards. Are you feeling nervous about CEH?
I am, especially because of how much success running backs for the Chiefs have had in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And then they drafted him pretty high and then had such high expectations for him. And this offense is way too potent for him to not be doing as much.
I agree. I'd like to see him get more involved in the passing game. That's his biggest appeal. Mm-hmm. He's undersized. He's not going to score very many short red zone touchdowns.
Yeah, he's not a goal line guy.
No, but, I mean, you got to think it's going to come.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to keep starting him. There's really not much you can do with him.
Yeah.
But, again, this is like the same Lamar Jackson situation. He's not returning on the investment you paid for him. It's just unfortunate, and doubly unfortunate. There's really not much you can do about it. So, hopefully he gets it going against the Bills. The Bills struggled a bit against the Titans, but I wouldn't hit the panic button on Josh Allen. And Stephon Diggs still had a great day with 10 catches for 106 yards on a massive 16 targets. But Devin Singletary had the backfield to himself with Zach Moss out and recorded just 25 yards on 11 carries and added 1 catch for 8 yards on his lone target. Are you nervous about Devin Singletary, Justin?
I am. Just because of the time that he's spent as the lead back when Moss has been out, he hasn't really done a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah, he's been very inefficient.
Yeah.
Not much involvement in the passing game, which sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not be feeling very good if I were Vince and had Devin Singletary. I'll take the Chiefs to win big.
I'm going to go Bills.
Bills.
I think you'll see Buffalo bounce back from that loss.
Okay. I just feel like the Chiefs, I mean, they lost to the Raiders. I feel like they're going to come out hot and ready
Pissed
to
off,
prove
That's
everybody
what I'm
wrong.
From the Bills, I think some teams got to lose two in a row.
That's true.
But
That's
they can
true.
tie.
That's true. One of them has to. Let's get to our last game of the week here. Cardinals take on the Cowboys. Cardinals offense has been okay this season and certainly not what you were hoping for aside from DeAndre Hopkins. They played well against the Jets, but they played the Jets.
Yeah.
We've talked about it before, but how are you feeling about Kenyon Drake after seeing him find the end zone on Sunday, Justin?
I'm not big on him.
No, me either. I think Chase Edmonds is the better running back.
I think I'd rather have Chase Edmonds.
Yeah. I mean, in fantasy, I think Kenyon Drake still has more to offer at the moment.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't shock me if he gets benched in favor of Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds looks like the better running back. He's getting pretty much all the passing work from the position. I'm all the way out on Kenyon Drake.
Oh, yeah.
I'd try to trade him after a decent game against the Jets. I don't see him taking off. Like I said, I think he might lose his job. It's just he's not the guy that they thought he was.
Yeah.
This is one we got right. We were not high on him in the preseason.
Yeah.
So
we didn't let him off the hook.
I'll take a quick victory. We didn't let him off the hook.
Didn't let him off the hook.
He is who we thought he was.
Yeah.
Okay, for the Cowboys. It was absolutely crushing to see Dak's injury against the Giants. We wish him the best of luck in his recovery. It sucks. Absolutely sucks to see that.
Good player. He's an even better guy.
Yep, he's a great guy. He deserves all the money that he didn't get in the offseason. So hopefully the Cowboys will do right by him. And if they don't, hopefully somebody else will. I'd actually prefer that. I'd rather him not play for Dallas. Can't stand Jerry Jones. Tired of his Skeletor ass.
Yeah, he's an asshole too.
Yeah, he is. But hope for the best for Dak.
Yeah.
But we got to talk some fantasy here. How do you see the offense faring with Andy Dalton at the helm, Senni?
Honestly, I don't think you'll see a big change in the team's overall scheme. I mean, you're going to see Zeke's normal volume with the mix of Tony Pollard, which keeps them pretty much in their normal fantasy roles. And them boys have one of the most dynamic wide receiver cores in the NFL. So I think you can trust CD, Gallup, or Cooper as a valuable fantasy plays.
Yeah. Wow. Great analysis from you, buddy. That was not. I just got to take a second to drink that in. That's not what I was expecting from you, but good stuff, Senni. You really hit your stride towards the end of this episode. I think Dallas wins the game.
Yeah, I'm going Dallas.
I'm actually going to take the Cardinals, even though I think the Dallas will perform well and probably going to be a high-scoring one.
Yep. I mean, I think it'll be a good game for sure. It's not out of the question to see Arizona win at all. I just feel like, Zeke will get a bit more involved, and the emotional game for sure. All right. Speaking of emotions, Justin, it's time for you to eat a raw onion like an apple. I'm very excited for this. Actually, this is a fun one.
So we got two of them here.
Yeah, we got a yellow onion and a red onion. I don't know if you want to take them out of their containers and show everybody what you're working with.
Red, yellow.
Which one are you going with? Red. It looks like red.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the red just because I brought it here.
Okay.
And fuck.
Oh man. It's like Shrek.
Yeah.
The layers.
There's so many layers in this.
Yeah. I mean, you got the skin off already, right?
Yeah.
It's naked.
It's naked, but there's like a little, you see the little like butthole on top?
Yeah, I see the butthole, but I mean, can't you just like hold it by the butt? Oh god. How is it?
It's not bad.
Really?
Yeah. It's not great.
Yeah.
It's an onion.
Your eyes are tearing up a little bit.
That's because it's an onion.
Yeah. Dude, there's so much juice flying out of this onion. That is... I mean, that's... Yeah.
Yeah, my eyes are watering.
Yeah. It's really not that bad, though, huh?
I like red onion.
Yeah. I kind of want you to take a bite out of the yellow onion.
Just for fun?
Since we have it here, yeah. See if that one's any worse. I mean, you don't have to eat the entire thing. I'll take a few more big bites, but then, I mean, give me a yellow onion. I want to see if there's a variance in taste. I want to see if this, for some reason, red onions taste better when eaten like an apple.
That one's going to be sweeter. This is like, not spice, but...
Savory?
Yeah.
Dude, your mouth smells so fucking bad.
Yeah.
I'm just breathing in all of the onion coming out of his mouth. Dude, it smells so bad over here.
Yeah, my girlfriend's not going to want to kiss me.
No, she is not. Oh my God, dude. It wasn't so bad when you first started, but then after a few bites, when you started talking in my direction,
yeah,
it's like you ate a deli.
Yeah, well, that's showbiz, baby.
Man, the crunch is ridiculous. I will say that probably tastes... Dude, I'm getting whips.
He's getting it worse than
I am. It's worse for me. Somehow I got punished in this shit. I bet it tastes better than a Red Delicious apple. That's the joke I was going for. Red Delicious is the trashiest apple. What do you think, Senni? What's the worst apple? I know you're a big Granny Smith fan. You've already established that that's your favorite apple. But what's the worst apple?
I don't know what it was called, but there was one time I went apple picking, and there were these tiny little apples, Fuji, some shit like that.
Fuji.
I like Fuji.
I like Fuji too, Senni.
Not a big fan. They're a little too sweet for me, I guess.
I mean, yeah, it is a sweet apple. You ever had a Honeycrisp apple?
Yeah, I have. I like the kind of more tart ones.
Okay.
You ever had a Pink Lady?
Pink Lady's good too.
Yeah, it's like a smaller Honeycrisp.
Shut up and eat your onion. Yeah, Pink Ladies are good.
I didn't yell at you when you're eating your banana.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
My nose hurts.
Your nose hurts?
Like, that's where it's going. It's like I'm eating a pepper, and it's just all in my nose.
Man, it's just... What was that sound?
That was like acid reflux from eating a fucking onion.
Oh, man. It's just, like, I'm watching him eat it, and it's just
There's another onion sprouting inside of here. You see that?
I see that. That's why I'm, like, confused. It's like a pit. I've never seen this deep into an onion without chopping it up. How many more bites should we make them do, Vince?
I'm gonna go around, so I go around the full onion. Take this
is
bite
like
here.
One big bite there,
Yeah.
And then I do want to see one big bite of the yellow one too.
All right.
And then I'll say you're sufficiently punished.
Yeah, I'm gonna smell for a while.
You are. You might.
I'm not doing anything tomorrow.
Yeah. You can't leave the house. You gotta stay home, brush your teeth every hour on the hour. My God. All right. Good work, man. You housed that thing. I really thought that was gonna be more painful for you.
Big onion guy.
You are a big onion guy. I think I would cry because, I mean, you're crying a little bit, but I think I would be like upset and hate this because I'm just smelling your breath, and it's pretty bad.
Took that thing down like a passion fruit.
He did. Well, he's a big passion fruit guy.
Big passion fruit guy.
Big passion fruit guy.
Now it's like.
It's the after effects.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you stop eating is when it's the worst for me because that's when I just smell straight fucking onion coming out of you. It's like you are an onion. Like you smell like you're.
Like I'm
secreting onion. Yes, you smell like Shrek.
I only have to take one bite out of this.
Yeah, just one big bite, and then I'll be happy, and I'll send it to Senni. I gotta look. Go ahead. Oh, that crunch.
Oh, red was better.
Red was better.
Yeah.
Now we know. Next time we need somebody to eat a raw onion, we're going yellow. Oh my God, dude, the smell is so bad. I don't even want to sit here.
I don't know. I think my gum was bleeding from eating the onion.
Well, when you brush your teeth, I'm sorry, I can't concentrate. I'm nauseated and a little disoriented by this onion scent. Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Fantasy Beer League. We'll be with you every Wednesday on YouTube with audio-only podcasts available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Pandora. How'd the beer taste with the onion? Did it ruin it for you, or was the beer still good?
It's still good beer.
Still good beer. Please follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the handle @FantasyBeerLG. Those are the words Fantasy Beer and the letters LNG. Man, I can't even get through this.
It's not like I can't breathe.
I know. I need you to. You got to breathe, obviously. But I mean, if you could hold your breath, that would be appreciated. As always, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more half-decent advice from half-decent guys. I'm Sean Joyce.
This it stinks in here.
Well, that's how I feel. Stinky-ass Justin Gill. And here's Matt Senni with his advice of the week.
This week you're gonna eat your vegetables and fuck Christopher Columbus.
Fuck Christopher Columbus. Amen to that. Good luck in week 6, everybody. Thank you for watching.